Hey guys, here we go. Here's the stainless tank. Okay, these boards here I borrowed from the shipper. That's what they were sitting on anyway. So what they had to do is they just sling front and rear with the crane and bring it over after I had lifted it so I could get these boards out from underneath and get it kind of set. So I made a bunker, out of chain. Got that all squared away. And then I did a chain capture, a chain wrap on the legs. So they're sitting on the wood and they will settle in a little bit, but the whole deal was to get it to miss all of the plumbing parts. I couldn't have any chains going through there, so I had to sling it around the underneath side and bring it around that way. Kind of windy out here, but that's just the way it is today. So we had to move this chain just a little bit. It was kind of sitting on it, but I estimated pretty close. I just used my bar and actually lifted it. We were able to pull things around and move this bunker chain just a little bit. So that way this wasn't sitting on securement parts. So I wanted it sitting on the wood. But this kind of capture cross with chain wrap on the girder is probably about the best that you can do, because there's really not much else you can do. Another set up there, but it's really not going to do any good to mess with it up there. It's too high. So I like to keep the securement there nice and low. I can reach it. Everything's good and tight. I can jump up and take care of business. Now on this one, I originally started out with just this chain just to move it, to get out of the crane's way. And then I came in and I decided to put two more. I knew I was going to try and do something, but I also had to keep away from the stainless steel. So coming up and around just a loop on itself, and then outside of that to where it would push it away from the tank so there's no way I could damage it. I turned the binders around upside down so I could get my handle in and move and get my draw. And it does make it pretty squared away, and I'm going to show you some other things here too. Let's get over here. And it's inside. Everything is good like that as far as width. Now, I contacted the agent and did mention that there was an impeller suspended by wood dunnage inside, and they had taken care of us. So there's really nothing I can do because those pieces up there welded. Well, I'm not sure about the stability of those, and if I did something to break the tank, then there's nothing, it's the liabilities on me. So I'm going to go with who prepared the tank for shipment and just deal with it there. There's nothing else that I can really do about it. So high security place, a little bit of homeland security kind of thing. I'm not going to mention a bunch of other stuff, but I just had to pass through all their layers of security to get inside. It really wasn't too bad. When you're looking around all the parts, you just want to make sure that nothing's going to come undone. And I went through and I checked everything, all the plumbing parts, I'll keep an eye on that, but that looks like it's just tight as hell. When I put my hands on it, it was tight. If I had to, I could, capture it with a strap or something, but I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it, to tell you the truth. The motor's good and bolted down. It's obvious heavy bolts. Couldn't really get in on this ring. And I'm not worried about these guys going anywhere because I got 3 chains pulling down on it. It will not go anywhere. It's good hardwood, so pine on the top, hardwood on the bottom. You can see from the other side. You do the best that you can. There's it's tight. You're going to get a little chain capture on these corners, and you want to hear it pop. So what I do when I first started out is, I just went nice and slow, and I could hear cracking and popping and stuff back there. That's normal sound. It was settling in, and I got back here and re-tightened the chain because that was a normal sound. Now the stainless top and lid, I put my tarps over it, and I just tied it down. So there's 100 and some pounds of tarp sitting on top of a couple little pieces of little hood thing that's sitting back underneath there. It's not going anywhere. So the best I can do is make sure it gets to the other end in one piece. You always want to check, like I said, in the back, and I looked over here, nothing was loose. There's no pieces, parts, everything's plumbed in and sealed pretty well. All this other tubing and all that other stuff, everything looked to be good, and it's a used tank, so we'll just take care of it, make sure it gets there in the same condition that we picked it up as. That's the best we can do. So you always have to look for parts, like I said, put your hands on stuff, check it out, make sure it's tight, and there's not much else. This is pretty straightforward. If you're new at some of this, you'll have to just think ahead. You want to measure where you're going to put your wood, how much difference. I like to measure and make sure that I know that I'm going to have plenty of working room on that part of the trailer. I didn't want to have it be over too far back. A little bit more weight forward, and of course the weight is going to be down where you have your dunnage. That's where your weight sets. So wherever that is placed, you can change your weight on your axles. This is an 8,000 pound piece. It's not weight concern, but just so you'll know for future and other kinds of loads, if you need to, you can make those changes. So all the chain is wrapped on itself, and if not, there's not enough of it to go anywhere. And of course, you always want to remember, a lot of these times if I carry a spray oil, but you'll still want to put your bar in that one hook there and one eye, and that'll help stop it from rotating on you. That helps a lot. I had a little rotation on that one, but wasn't too bad. See, I hope you guys like this one. So I'm trying to nail down some videos for you. Like I said, back to General Freight. I was on a dedicated run, and I had the same exact loads for 9 months. And the return loads home were the same ones you'd seen before too. So there wasn't much for me to give you as far as new loads, new videos. I'm sorry, I got some stuff on hard drives that are I still have to try and get access to. I just haven't been able to do it. It's kind of amazing. Anyways, you can see how the capture is. Heavy girder chains and everything right there is where it's chained on is the heavy girders, and where it's all welded really well. I've got one pulling down, one pulling side to side neutral, and once it settles in, you'll usually find when you get your other chains on there that the bottom one is going to be the one that goes slack, and it did. I jumped up there and I give it another couple of turns, and that tightened it up. So you can see everything's well inside and well inside. Everything's good to go. There's no oversized issues. I'm in Pennsylvania, so I've got to do Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Ohio. I'm not worried about weight. I'm mostly worried about having enough stuff to where they'll look at me and go, well, he's good to go. He's got enough stuff. So not so much weight as piece control, and you want to cover both angles, and so it isn't going to go anywhere. With that square being on that wood like that with those girders, it's going to keep it from pitching and rolling as long as you control these 2 points. The back there is just extra. You could probably get by with one, but I don't like that. That's not me. I'd rather put double or triple what I have to, and that works. It's just I'm happy going down the road. Well, I got to get there. I got 650 give or take to go, and I got to rock and roll. I got a crane appointment, and we'll see you on the road.